to, but I don't because it's so loud. I'm just like,
I put on the Texans jersey, so
there you go.
It's a little toasty.
That's the one thing is that I love sports. I don't have any fucking jerseys. None.
I've got a collection. That was between my Russell Wilson Seahawks jersey or my Texans jersey, but I went with the Texans.
Let's ride.
But, welcome in, everybody. Been watching football since 9:30. I tried the Toy Story version. I gave it till halftime. Yeah, I had both. I gave
it a shot,
but they were significantly behind. And I don't know if you have kids, it's a cool idea to watch with. But I couldn't stand like Booger telling me what a field goal is and what a sack is and what a blitz was. I was like, all right.
Did you see that? Did you see on the Kelsey Brothers podcast where after the whole Taylor Swift thing, they got a question? What is a field goal on their podcast? Because they just got all these Swifties who don't know anything about football now. I was like, that.
I saw some lady debate her husband while he was actually streaming that because he was a football fan, but he streams gaming and stuff like the rest of us. And she was debating her husband whether because she told her husband it's so nice of Taylor Swift to elevate somebody to relevancy like Travis Kelce. She goes, he was a nobody before Taylor. And I was like, what? And her husband started losing his mind.
Okay. I mean, that is the epitome of Swifties, right? And good morning, Darlene.
Oh, man.
Well, what
guys won 2 Super Bowls, has 84 touchdown catches.
Probably going to be in the conversation for greatest tight end ever,
Ranker has him third right now behind Gronk and
Gonzalez.
Yeah,
that's probably where I put him too. But what I was telling people this morning about the London game being me, I was
morning, Boogie.
What's great about morning football is that the game starts at 9:30 our time, and you just have to start drinking at 9:30 in the morning.
I was just happy because after I got up, did a little reading for school, and then it was 9 o'clock, and I was like, football time. So I'm always excited to watch football nowadays.
Yes, good morning, Boogie.
All right, so before we even get started on picks and talking about all the injuries, Boogie actually asked us a question on our Discord, and I don't know the answer. So you get to start 2. One's a super flex. So pick 2 out of these 3. Bryce Young against the Vikings defense. He is playing today. Brandon Ayuk on Monday Night Football against – who do they play tomorrow?
The Jets?
The Cardinals? No. They're not Monday Night Football. They're just a game today? Hold on. They play the Cardinals at 4:25, so not Monday Night Football. Today against the Cardinals or Ashane versus the Dolphins.
Wait, Ashane is on the Dolphins, though.
I mean against the Bills, sorry, for the Dolphins.
Definitely not that one.
I'm having a hard time with it because I'm like, what if he just breaks out again?
But if it's a super flex, you're probably going to play the quarterback.
Well, that's what I said. I have a hard time going against Bryce, especially against the Vikings defense.
If it's a super
but I don't know who to start as the second one.
Yeah, so you definitely take the quarterback in any super flex league because you're going to be able to start 2 of them. So you always start 2 quarterbacks no matter what. I would take.
Desmond Ridder looks like a 38-year-old man. Sorry,
I would not take A-Chain against the Bills. The Bills just seem to have Miami's number. Even though the games are going to be close and Miami may win it, the Bills are just stingy. Like, it's so weird. But their coach plays against Miami very well. So I would just be very hesitant to play that matchup. So probably.
Whoa, big breaking news.
What's that?
Dorian Thompson-Robinson is starting for the Browns today against the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. I did see the questionable on Deshaun.
Yeah, shoulder contusion.
Yeah. I mean, look, give him a shot. One of my bold predictions was he's going to start 3 games, right? I believe
I didn't expect to see this man starting already. Derek Carr will play.
Derek Carr's playing today, and the Raiders are starting that rookie.
Wait, what?
The Raiders are starting that rookie they got.
Oh, Jimmy's out with a concussion.
Yep.
I was like, they're already sitting Jimmy. I was like, no, he's got to have that.
No,
injury.
he's got a concussion, so he's out.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with
O'Connell, Aiden O'Connell. That's the
that's his name. I don't know what happened with Njoku. Like, I don't know what the fire was, but he will play today, regardless of burning his face and arm in a bad burn.
Listen,
and if you haven't seen it, pull up what he looked like walking into the stadium today. He came in with a fucking like horror type mask completely over his face to cover the burns and stuff, and it looked like he was going to a Halloween costume party, and it was amazing. I was like, you know what? Way to play into it, dude.
Why not? I mean, what was it? Jason Pierre-Paul's missing a couple fingers, right?
Yeah, because he decided to hold fireworks in his hand.
Listen, we can't all be fucking rocket scientists, all right?
Sure as fucking.
Darwin wins sometimes, all right?
It
was probably like lighter fluid in a grill or like lighting a bonfire. I've seen that shit. I saw a kid get fucking nearly blown up from like
a kid I actually played baseball with had to stop playing baseball because he was at a bonfire and he was doing lighter fluid into an actual lit fire, and it went right up the stream and blew him up, and he had third-degree burns from like 25% of his upper body, so he couldn't play ball anymore.
Starting this fire, but they had put so much gasoline on, and when the kid threw the fucking match, I mean, it blew him like 14 feet back.
They didn't say what it was. A household accident is what happened to Njoku.
Maybe he needs to learn how to cook. Maybe he needs to get a personal.
He said my flesh is weak, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Dog. By the way, that defense right now, their defense.
Yeah, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm real scared.
Number one right now. They are.
Especially after what the Colts just did against Lamar. If I'm Lamar, I'm real nervous. That was a cool sack, or almost sack.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I just saw the math. That's pretty sick.
That was a dope ass mask.
Yeah, that is very well done.
For the record, for anyone who didn't see us on Monday, we both picked the Jags in this game at 17-7 Jacksonville right now with 1:30 in the third left to play. Desmond Ritter's thrown 2 picks. Settled down so far in the in the second half, sorry. But his first half was a nightmare.
The Jags are having some problem with their offensive line.
Yeah, and it looks like they're having a hard time figuring out how to use all these weapons. ETN really hasn't been able to do much. Calvin Ridley's all over the place. Like, it just kind of seems like they're trying to figure out how to get everyone involved. Which normally you would think is not a problem, but
just throw the fucking hot hand. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Pick a guy. If he's catching the ball, full send. Like, just full send.
Yeah. They said Calvin's only been targeted 3 times today. So
yeah.
And one was that wide open touchdown.
I mean, he can be wide open. He did drop 2 last week, so.
Yeah. All right.
Where do we want to start? That's the question, right?
Well, I will say this before we get all the way into football. After the truck race yesterday, 40-something-year-old Matt Crafton, who wrecked himself in the truck race. There's no debate about it. He came down when he wasn't clear. Got so upset with the 20-year-old Nick Sanchez that he turned around, sucker punched him in the face twice, and knocked Nick Sanchez's face first into the concrete. And Nick had to get his forehead and his eyelid glued shut, which I didn't know was a thing. I thought it was only stitches, but they do glue apparently.
Yeah. It's like
a pretty nice fucking fight after the race yesterday.
I've had it a few times on my chin, that glue shit from your face mask in hockey hitting your chin.
Yeah, no thanks. I can't imagine having glue on my face.
Bro, it's better than all your white jersey with just the blood speckling down the front of it, you know?
But anyway, all right.
Before we move to football entirely, Europe won the Ryder Cup.
Who did?
Europe beat USA, and it wasn't close. It wasn't U.S. made a nice charge late, but fuck, I mean, they got blown out the first couple days. And just a feel good story is that in Korea they have the mandatory military.
Yeah.
So Sung Jae Im and Siwoo Kim won the Asian Games gold medal, so they are exempt from going into the military now.
That's what
So that's really fucking cool.
Heung-min Son of Tottenham almost had to go to his mandatory, but he actually helped them qualify for the World Cup, so he got exempt.
They gave him an exemption, yeah. Sometimes they'll do that, even if you don't meet the full criteria.
Yeah. I wish to God Korean Zombie would have gotten exempt, because I think that's what hurt his career, those 3 years off doing military service.
Yeah, very possible.
Because he was 29 when he went, so he lost those end years of his prime from 29 to 32. We'll talk college football more tomorrow when the rankings come out, because I have a lot to say about college football right now, because I spent a lot of yesterday watching football.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, game, and I'm playing video games, you know, it's like, fuck.
I even suffered through a Notre Dame game just because I wanted to watch that Duke game. So
yeah, that was close.
That was a hell of a game. And then after the game, on the last offensive play of Duke, their quarterback got hurt. And after the game, Notre Dame's quarterback, Sam Hartman, went over to the sideline and waited outside the medical tent to check on the Duke quarterback. And I was like, that's just class, dude.
Listen, he knows karma. If he makes it, he's going to be sitting out 4. So,
he'll make it. Sam Hartman is a good quarterback. He'll make it. Probably like round 3 or so, because he's already 24, because he's a grad transfer.
We're seeing Mr. Irrelevant be relevant. Okay, relax.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be all right. Anyway, all right. Who do you want to start with today?
Let's start off with, I think, probably the best fucking 1:00 game we're gonna see. Miami at Buffalo.
Let me pull up their injury reports here.
Right now, the line is 2.5 to Buffalo, so they're not even the 3-point favorite at home. Obviously, they're 3-0. Buffalo is 2-1. Pick them right now: 51% for Miami, 48.6 for Buffalo. Full injury report. Let's start with Miami.
Yeah, you go ahead and take Miami. I got Buffalo's inactives up.
All right. So these are all as the 29th. Deshaun Elliott, safety, questionable. Ankle injury, doesn't say anything yet. Teron Armstead, offensive tackle, back injury, questionable ahead of the game. Connor Williams, guard, questionable with a groin injury. Salvin Ahmed, running back, questionable. Not that matters. Eric Ezukanma, wide receiver, out with a neck injury. And he was put on the reserve non-football injury list. River Craycraft, wide receiver, on injured reserve with a shoulder injury. Jalen Phillips, linebacker, out with an oblique injury.
Yep. Yeah, I got Jalen Phillips is officially out, as you said. Deshaun Elliott is out. Eli Apple out. Connor Williams, as you said, questionable. He's out. And Tyler Croft is out.
Yeah, that's the one I don't have listed. So,
and then the Bills have a big name on the injured list today, on the inactive list. Jordan Poyer is inactive today. And Jermaine Ifedi, their starting right guard, I believe, might be left, is out. And then Puna Ford, Kair Elam, and Alec Anderson are out.
And then the only other news injury-wise with Buffalo is that Von Miller is expected to resume practicing on Monday.
Good. I'm excited to see him return to the game of football. Von Miller is always a good one to watch. Even if he's not making big plays, he's a good leader on the sideline. He's a classy guy.
He's kind of like a more photogenic Khalil Mack.
Yes.
Like he's kind of like in the camera will be a leader, even if he's now aging.
Yep. Yeah, because Khalil, since going to the Chargers, has really gotten quiet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like more photogenic, more in front of the camera. Von Miller's a little more vocal Khalil's always been a silent type, you know. He just let his game speak.
Man, Trevor Lawrence is fun to watch when he's on.
Dude, there's a video. I don't know if you saw that video where he threw into that double coverage with Ridley in between the two Colts defenders, where he literally fit it. It literally looked like the ball was in slow motion going to it because it was so perfectly thrown. I sent it to one of my buddies on Discord. I'll have to send it to you after. I was just like, there's no fucking way. But he can make the big boy throws. His problem's always been touch.
Yep. All right, so Bills Dolphins. You picked the Dolphins when we picked early in the season. I picked the Bills. Oh, this one's tough. If I get the Bills of like the team that just played the Commanders, I think the Bills can handle the Dolphins.
I coming into this morning, I kept looking at this game and I go, I think I'm gonna flip here. Just something about the way Buffalo plays Miami. It's so strange on defense. They just hold them down and they can hang offensively. Like they are one team that can actually just put up points if they need to, most of the time. But I don't know. Miami's a track team, right? Like that's what they
100%.
are. But for some reason, that Buffalo defense just knows how to fucking throw off the rhythm. Like they literally just make it so timing doesn't work properly.
I'm curious who's going to play in place of Jordan Poyer.
Man, let's see. Yeah, I'm flipping it. Give me Buffalo. As much as I want Miami to win, I feel like this is where they come back.
Oh man, I'm debating flipping. I'm gonna stick with the Bills.
Yeah, it's just a weird feeling, right?
I don't know. It's like if Josh Allen can't win this game, they can't win this division, in my opinion. This has got to be. It's at home. This is the game you got to win.
100%. I think this is very much telling, and it could be different later in the season, obviously. But right now, this is very telling of how this division is going to go because this is the two teams.
Yeah, and like you said, it can change later on. But if Tua stays healthy and this team keeps rolling, and you can't take it from them while you're at home, I don't know how you're going to do it in Miami.
Yeah,
so,
you aren't.
All right, next game.
One of the best games of the afternoon. Denver at Chicago.
Oh, I'm really excited to watch this one on Red Zone. I don't think I'll see it.
Yeah, we probably won't.
Let
me look
at
the
to
line.
Make things worse for the Chicago Bears, but no Chase Claypool, no Jalen Johnson, no Eddie Jackson. So starting safety, starting number one corner, Chase Claypool, the number 3 receiver, and Donta Foreman are all out.
Oh, well, that's fine because Justin Fields is our leading rusher anyways.
I know. Hi, Julia. Yeah, it'll be a suck fest. I'm really excited to watch this game.
It's one of 2 major suck fests today.
I'm really excited to watch this game go down.
Yeah. By the way, apparently you could get a ticket to this game for $2.21.
It's in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm amazed you can get a ticket that cheap in Soldier Field.
Yeah, I heard that the tickets did get as low as $2.21.
I mean, it's worth it if you're near Chicago. Go, even though the game might suck, you get to see a historic field before it might move on.
Show up early, get loaded in the parking lot, go in and watch the game.
Yeah, because I mean, realistically, I mean, they're very likely to move in the next 5 or 6 years. The Chicago Bear owners have admitted they want to move. So, I mean, this could be a really good way to go see a historic field in Chicago. I'm a big fan of Soldier Field. And you can just walk right in. I mean, we saw it when someone stole tractor equipment the other day.
$100,000 worth of equipment. The line is 3 points to Denver. So they are basically a 6-point favorite on the road.
Their day ain't getting any better. Justin Simmons is out. Josie Jewell, their starting linebacker, out. Ronnie Perkins out. Frank Clark is again out. Alex Forsythe and Mike Purcell are all out.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is going to be a fucking fun one.
don't even know where this is on my.
The pick'em right now is 52.9% in favor of Denver, 46.7% in favor of the Bears. Somebody's got to win this game, right?
I mean, this could be a 6-6 tie.
This will be that 10-3 barn burner, you know. No, I honestly think now seeing Arizona and Chicago is the worst team in the NFL.
Man,
So give me the Broncos. And
I'm taking the Broncos as well, simply because Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy should be able to have a good enough game to win this game automatically.
And I'll tell you what, that defense is probably going to have some type of rebound because after letting up 70, Sean Payton ain't going to be very happy.
Yeah, that DC of theirs might have to. I forget his name, but he was once their coach, their head coach, Vance Joseph, I think maybe.
Yes, I think that is.
Yeah, they know about firing him, so he better get his head turned around.
Yeah, it is Vance Joseph.
All right, give me the next one. I don't even want to talk about what to look for in that game. I don't even know what to look for in that game.
Who are you taking? Denver?
Yeah, yeah.
Baltimore at Cleveland is the next game.
All right, so no Deshaun Watson. For those who didn't hear us earlier, Deshaun Watson is out with a shoulder contusion. So we've got Dorian Thompson-Robinson making his debut as a starter.
So Baltimore visiting Cleveland, and Baltimore is a 2-point favorite. So,
the Ravens are missing Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham, Marcus Williams, Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, Odafe Odawa or Owe, sorry.
Yeah, the linebacker.
And then Josh Johnson's third. And then Josh Johnson's their third emergency quarterback. And I'm pretty sure I have one of their players that I just said. No, I don't. Cool, we're Gucci. And then on the other side, I already said Deshaun Watson, but I don't know who else.
So who are we talking about here? Cleveland?
It's Deshaun Watson, Khalif, I don't know, Halasai, Ronnie Hickman, Luke Weipler still out, Isaiah McGuire, Siaki Ika.
Yep.
And then Zaire Mitchell-Patton are the only inactives on their list.
Nobody major.
The Browns, as you said earlier, have the number one defense. They are a very good blitzing defense. Lamar is missing his starting left tackle.
The Browns are missing Conklin. Conklin's on the injured reserve for the rest of the year.
Oh, I did not. Yeah, again, they don't put the IR on the inactives, so I didn't see it. Their tweet inactives. Deshaun Watson was my quarterback, so it looks like A-Chain is starting. Yeah, I don't know if I would
unless you can pick up a quarterback like on the market real quick, just anybody who's going to be playing later today, that would be my way to go. I still wouldn't play A-Chain.
Yeah, I mean,
see what quarterbacks are available and just drop somebody to put them on your roster for the day, even if you get rid of them.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with Dorian, but maybe.
I mean, it's points, right? It's going to be more than that running back get you.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to come close to repeating what we saw last week. So,
this is a tough one for me.
I have a really hard time because all the Ravens injuries. You saw it last week with the Colts. They were able to get to Lamar a lot.
Yeah, and these guys get home. These guys get home.
Why is Jonnu Smith the top tight end for the Falcons? What did Kyle Pitts drive off a bridge?
No.
Aiden O'Connell is the only one available.
He is playing today.
Oh, against the Chargers defense.
Yeah. That could be.
No Derwin James today.
Yep.
I mean, he's doubtful, so no Derwin James today. I don't know. That might be all right. Oh. And Aloy Gilman is also potentially out. Their other starting safety. They might be down both starting safeties for the Chargers today. And he's questionable, but it's leaning towards out. And again, another Notre Dame guy, so most likely out. Jesus Christ. Algiers not having it right now against the Jags.
No.
Um, I don't know who to pick here. This is tough. It's in Cleveland. Oh, I'm going to stick with the Ravens. It was my original pick. I'm going to stick it.
Did I take the Ravens originally?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with it, but
Yeah, I
I'm
was
going
gonna
to
say I'm going Browns here. I'm not comfortable with that either, but I just think the defense, and you're not prepped for the quarterback they're going to be showing.
Yeah, and to be honest, I need to see Lamar start throwing the ball to Mark Andrews. Otherwise, this offense ain't going to move.
Yeah.
All right, give me the next one.
Let me see here. We have Cincinnati at Tennessee. Oh, man.
Okay, well, I already know who I'm taking, but let me look at the injury report.
I think we both know who we're taking.
All right, this is officially on the Bengals website.
I have Irv Smith Jr. out, tight end. DJ Ivy, cornerback, out. Devin Harper, linebacker, out. Trey Hill, center, out. Jackson Carman, offensive tackle, out. Akeem Davis Gaither, knee inactive week 4. And Charlie Jones, the wide receiver, September 29th, put on injured reserve with a thumb injury.
Yeah, it sucks for them. He was actually starting to look all right as a rookie. I have the same, and then Luke Gifford out for the Titans, Elijah Molden, Peter Skoronski, Will Levis, emergency third quarterback. Treylon Burks is out.
Ooh.
And Jalen Duncan out. Treylon Burks is a big loss, as he's kind of what helps open up DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals here too. I think Joe Burrow is fine. He might not be 100%, but I just haven't seen anything out of this Tennessee team that makes me believe in them winning games.
I would not be comfortable with Joe Mixon today. I think Jeffrey Simmons will have a good game.
No, I would not want to be running the ball against those guys.
But other than that, yeah, Bengals. All right. Next one.
Let's see. I have Los Angeles Rams at Indianapolis Colts. The return
I've been
of
dreading
Richardson.
this one since I saw it.
Richardson
I've been dreading it since I saw it listed as a game.
Man, this is a tough one. 55.9% in favor of the Rams, 43.8% in favor of Indy. The Rams are a 1-point favorite on the road.
The Colts are missing Ryan Kelly, their starting center. Otherwise, they're all backup injuries. Darrell Baker Jr. out. Ellinger, emergency third quarterback. Isaiah Land out. Will Mallory out. Cameron McGrone out. And Bernard Ryman out. Ryman might be a starter, actually. I don't remember.
So you're basically getting the Rams without Kupp, like we've seen.
They're okay with that.
I guess is Higbee in? I know he's dealing with an Achilles.
I just pulled up their injury report. According to the Rams official website, they only have 4 inactives. It's Zach Evans, Thomas.
I literally just got a notification on my phone. It says Tyler Higbee's status improved from questionable to healthy.
Yep, Alaric Jackson out and Ernest Brown the 4th out. That is the only 4 injuries the Rams are entering the game with, besides Cooper Kupp, as we all know. But he is still on PUP or injured reserve, whatever the hell it may be.
Yeah.
So
he's on IR, and he's going to start practicing next week.
Yeah, which will make things interesting for fantasy owners like of Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua, because who knows who the hell is getting the ball.
Yeah, that's gonna be a weird one.
But for now, it's still Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua's game to win for the Rams. Kyron Williams did nothing last week. He was the only running back to touch the ball, yet he was really bad. Which hurt the Rams in the end against the Bengals. I don't know how I feel about this game.
I think I'm.
What's the spread?
1 point for the Rams on the road.
Oh, I don't know. This Colts defense makes me really think that's hard to believe.
And then I know the Rams can get home, but Richardson is dynamic.
I went with Colts. I just wrote it down. Going Colts.
I was gonna say I think I'm going Colts here too. I have this weird feeling.
If this was if this was in LA, I'd probably go LA. But I think the Colts at home with that loud stadium, I think they get the job done with Anthony Richardson returning.
Yeah, I think that'll be like a good boost for them. And they honestly, without him, they still weren't bad. Like that defense is real. Like their defense is good.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I just have this sneaking suspicion Stafford might throw a couple interceptions, something stupid. I think Richardson might have, 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. And it might be a good day for Pittman.
I think it will be.
Because Richardson and him seem to have a connection. And
Yep.
now he's coming back, so it's going to be like that boost. And yeah, he's going to go to his safety blanket, if you will.
For those wondering what's happening over in London, it's 20-7 Jacksonville with 5 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Jacksonville has ball as well.
The Falcons.
I didn't see what I missed, but Drake London looked upset. So I don't know what I missed, but Drake London looked real upset. I don't know if he fumbled or what, but.
All right. Next game is Tampa Bay at New Orleans. I guess the big news here is that Derek Carr is going to play.
Yeah, I really didn't expect to see that name.
Right now, the Saints are at home. They're a 4-point favorite. On the pick'em, it's 54.7% in favor of the Saints, 45% in favor of the Bucks.
I do want to say we never really talk about Monday Night Football because I didn't think about it today because we, are live during Monday, but then after the game's over, we don't really review it because then we go right to Sunday. I want to say the Bucs defense might be legit. I know they gave up a good bit of points towards the end of the game and they got run over by DeAndre Swift, but they made Jalen Hurts look a little iffy.
The Bucs have players, right? I think the biggest question for us coming into the year was what is Baker Mayfield going to be?
And we saw what happens when the Eagles put pressure on Baker Mayfield.
I believe the saying is a man will be what a man has been.
Yep, that is the saying, and I believe that is exactly what we saw, and I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yeah, their defense is too good. And if anything happens to Carr,
I want to say Alvin Kamara's back.
That's big. Yeah, that's huge. I'd expect him to get a lot of touches today. And I just, again, if Derek Carr has to leave the game, you're getting Jameis Winston, and he might make some bad decisions, but he's not Baker bad, right?
Yeah. Saints are without Paulson Adebo, Foster Moreau, A.T. Perry still not back, Kyle Phillips out, and guard Cesar Ruiz, that's the big piece for them. Bucks are on the other side are without Jamal Dean, so the number 2 corner. Another corner, Derek Pitts is out, so they're a little thin on depth. Linebacker Sir Vokea Dennis out, Durham Payne out, Kalijah Cansey is still out, and Brandon Bolton. I'm going to go Saints.
Yeah, I can see the Bucks winning this game if Baker has a good day with like Mike Evans and Godwin, but the run game is suspect. The Saints defense is going to know that. And I don't know. I just, again, I think Baker turned into the pumpkin, right?
Yeah, and Alvin Kamara really, he had a really good preseason. He looked really good. He says he feels healthy, and if he's back in top shape, what we just saw the Bucs let DeAndre Swift do, who knows what Kamara could do today?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think there's just too many aspects of question marks around the Bucs on what could happen to be confident. They could, like you said, they could win this game. This is a hell of a rivalry. We've seen Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore get 2 different fights during this rivalry. They're going to be on each other again today. So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes down.
Johnson and what was his name there? Finnegan.
Oh yeah, Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan.
That was one of my favorite ones.
Those two dropping the fucking just literally stood up to like fight.
Stood up,
that was awesome.
Took the helmet off. Like, we're gonna do this. Let's go. That was one of my favorites. But no, again, like you said, too many question marks. They could easily win this game. They have the weaponry to win this game. I just don't see it
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. All right, next one.
All right. Let me get back to it. Washington at Philadelphia. I think more interesting than people want to lead on.
Yeah, I'm calling last week's Commanders game a misnomer because I don't think they were actually that bad of a team.
Just so you know, the line is 8.5 for Philly at home.
Philly is not missing anyone big. Rashad Penny out, Sidney Brown out, Tanner McKee emergency third, Quez Watkins out, Justin Evans out, Tyler Steen, and Moro Ojimo.
Okay.
Nobody worth mentioning for the Philadelphia Eagles not playing today.
For Washington, I have Chris Rodriguez Jr. running back out, and then Percy Butler safety questionable as of the 27th, and that's it.
He's in. Yeah, the rest are all backups that are listed as inactives because they're inactive. They're just too deep on the depth chart. So, yeah, Chris Rodriguez, you got Chris Paul, again, too deep on the depth chart. Mitchell Tinsley, too deep. They're just regular inactives.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Chris Rodriguez is the only actual potential player because he's their third or fourth running back, but he is not playing today. It's in Philly. I'm going to stick with the Eagles, but I would not say. I would be okay taking the spread.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than people think. This Philly offense has been some kind of, I would call it like sputtering at times. They've been able to run people over with Swift at times, but against a good front, you might not be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if Ron Rivera is smart and he plays this game the way he should, it should be let's take away the run and make them beat us with the arm because it hasn't happened yet this season.
Yeah, make Hurts beat you. And he is a dynamic weapon. Don't get me wrong. He can beat you. But make him throw the ball to beat you.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks we saw him very uncomfortable 2 weeks ago where they just started running all over the Vikings or whoever. Yeah, the Vikings. Because Jesus Christ. Jalen Hurts couldn't get comfortable. And then last week we saw 2 picks and only 1 touchdown through the air. Couldn't get the ball to Devontae Smith at all in that game. So,
and I mean,
you got to kind of force him to show it again.
Yeah, and then on the other side, the Georgia Bulldogs defensive line. They're doing pretty well in Philly, huh? Jalen Carter looks
doing well.
He looks spectacular.
They're doing well in Georgia too. I don't know.
Just so you know, Pick'em is 76.5% in favor of Philly, 23.3% in favor of Washington. Like I said, the line is 8.5 for Philly at home. I'm going to take Philly here. I don't think Washington has enough in the tank to beat them. But like you said, I think it's going to be closer than people imagine.
All right. Panthers, Vikings, or the other 1 o'clock game?
Which one do I have? Let me see. Yes, Vikings at Panthers.
Okay. Well, big news is Frankie Louvu, who was questionable all week, is playing. The Panthers, though, will be without Jonathan Mingo, will be without Deion Jones, so 2 starters, linebacker and wide receiver. Xavier Woods also out. I didn't know WWE superstar Xavier Woods played in the NFL. Raheem Blackshear and David Sharp.
The tackle, right? That's what I have as inactives for the Panthers. Now, they do get Bryce Young back.
Yes, they do.
But I'm not sure that helps them.
I honestly think Andy Dalton would have been better just to roll with for a little while. Let Bryce learn the game still. He still looks very frantically – like when you look at him and Stroud, since that's who he's always going to be compared to, you look at Stroud. Stroud looks confident. He looks poised. He doesn't look like he's under pressure. Like he just looks like he is playing the game of football. When you look at Bryce Young's eyes, Bryce Young looks like the game is still a little too big for him. And they might need to just bench him behind Dalton to let him learn. They're not going to. Obviously, at this point.
They spent all that draft capital. They're just gonna let him learn on the fly.
Yeah, but on the other side, Vikings are missing starting center Garrett Bradbury, defensive lineman Kyrus Tonga, backup tight end Nick Muse, Jaron Hall, the quarterback is the emergency third, and Lewis Sign, the safety, is out.
Yeah, so they're not hurting. I mean, whoever they're missing on defense really doesn't matter because their defense sucks.
Yeah, I mean, only defense I think is worse might be the Bears.
I just think
Uh,
Minnesota can put enough points on the board to win this game. So I'm taking Minnesota here. They're a 5-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, I don't want to, but I'm taking the Vikings as well. I think they're going to get their first win of the season and start turning it around. I don't think they're going to go on a run by any means, but I think they're going to start to actually get this offense fully functioning.
I think the offense is fine. I think they got to figure out what the fuck they're doing on defense.
Well, I mean, I think we're going to see. Last week we saw a good game out of Madison, and I think we might see another one this week and start to show that this has a consistent run game with the passing game. So now, like you said, that defense has to get figured out. It's a nightmare. It is so bad.
And then I guess Jefferson being like the good soldier was like, I don't know why people keep talking like I'm going to get traded. It's 3 games into the season. Relax, like he's like the perfect like, hey, look, we lost some games. Okay, relax.
Yeah, people want to compare him to Moss, but he's nowhere near the hothead Moss was. He is
no. I mean,
very respectful.
He
gets a little hot when you have Jair on him, but other than that, he's been very clean and respectful.
I think Moss went to the Patriots for what, like a 5th round pick or a 6th round pick? Like it was nothing because nobody wanted to deal with him.
Yep.
And then what they said was, okay, Tom, just throw the ball as far as you can and he'll catch it. So 63.9% in favor of the Vikings on the pick'em, 35.8 for the Panthers. Like I said, the line is 5 for Minnesota on the road, so about 8 overall. I just think the Vikings do enough here, get their first win of the season. They'll be good. I think the person to look out for in this game is Thielen, because obviously it's a return.
Yeah, I think he should have a good. I don't know. It's hard because of Bryce Young. Like if this was Dalton, I think this would be a really good game. I think this would be a very high scoring, close game. But because it's Bryce Young, I still don't know if that offense is even going to get moving enough. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he's got a
warning. And Brandon McManus is going for a field goal to put him up 23-7, just so everyone's aware of what's happening.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the Jags are at home in London, okay?
Yeah, they play at home next. I mean, they play there next week. So they
get the Bills next week, right?
Yep, I think that's correct.
I believe so. And they get them. Obviously, they're already there, so they're staying in London. Bills have to travel after playing Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move off this one. You said Vikings, right? I would expect.
Yeah, Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last 1:00 game is Pittsburgh at Houston.
I don't like the injury list because I'm going to stick with the team that I'm currently wearing the jersey of. But this injury list is nightmare. Denzel Perryman, starting middle linebacker, out. Michael Dieter out. Their center/guard. They rotate him. Josh Jones out. Starting left tackle, Laramie Tunsil out. And Dare Ogunwale, the Wisconsin running back, out. That is missing Laramie Tunsil against the Steelers. It is so bad. But on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, that's devastating.
The Steelers inactives, Mason Rudolph, third quarterback. Their punter, Presley Harvin, is out. James Daniels, offensive lineman, out. Gunnar Olszewski out. And Bryden Fehoko out. And that's it for the Steelers. A very healthy team still this far into the season.
Which is great for their defense. Their offense doesn't do anything.
What did I just read something that made me want to Google something because I needed to fact check something and then I forgot. I don't know.
CJ Stroud is on a wonderful pace. Pittsburgh is a 3-point favorite on the road, 58.7% on the pick'em for Pittsburgh, 41% for the Texans. I know how good the Steelers have looked, and I know that the Texans are missing a lot of pieces. Oh man, it's tough to pick the Texans here, man. I want to, but it's really tough.
Oh, it is. I'm not comfortable with it, but I'm repping a JJ Watt jersey right now, so I'm going Texans.
I want to believe, like I want to believe. You know what? Yeah, let's call this the upset.
You're calling this upset of the week?
Yep, Texans beat Pittsburgh.
Okay. I haven't even thought about upset of the week yet.
I was just thinking like we normally pick, and I was like, I need one.
Oh, I already have mine. Yeah, I got it. We haven't picked it yet. Okay.
All right.
4 o'clock games.
Under the 4 o'clock games. 4:05.
Yeah, we can't give injury reports, but
4:05. Las Vegas Raiders at Los Angeles Chargers.
The one thing we can say for this one though is there's no Jimmy Garoppolo, so it's Aiden O'Connell, the rookie.
Jimmy GQ. So,
Falcons turnover, by the way. Josh Allen strip sack. Jags gonna kneel on the ball now.
Okay. Let's see. For the Raiders, Curtis Bolton, linebacker, went on injured reserve with a knee injury. Nate Hobbs, cornerback, out with an ankle injury. Jimmy G, like we talked about, he's out. He's in concussion protocol, and so he is not playing. Max Crosby, questionable, knee injury.
That's interesting.
Malcolm Kuntz, defensive end, questionable, no designation listed. And Roderick Teamer, safety, questionable, no designation listed.
Harley.
So that's what I have for the Raiders. And now we go to the other side.
McDaniels claims Crosby was only on the injury report because he didn't practice on Friday or Thursday, and it was just due to rest.
Okay. I feel like we would have heard about it if he wasn't playing.
Yeah, we talked about him the entire week, past 3 weeks, but just an update real quick on the Raiders, and I'm hoping he's getting some help. But Chandler Jones was arrested.
And released by the Raiders, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping he gets some help. He's clearly going through some mental stuff. If anyone saw his live the other day before he was arrested, it was concerning. Don't want to see anyone go through that. So I just hope he gets the help he needs and can get either back to football or just get back to at least being at peace mentally and have a restful life.
I always make bad jokes, but I think he's been sipping on whatever Antonio Brown's been sipping on,
All right. Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of his brother's meltdowns a little bit, to be honest. As John's had some pretty
I don't know if those are really meltdowns, more like it's like what I do. Self-defeating acts. Like when you comment on Israel Adesanya getting a fucking DWI, where was he, in New Zealand, and said this guy wants to be me so bad. You have problems.
Yep.
But for the Chargers, no Corey Linsley, center, out.
Oh boy.
Put on the reserve non-football illness list Saturday. JT, I
believe it was COVID.
Yeah, it probably is because I actually just had COVID this past week.
Jesus.
Oh, it was brutal for the first couple of days. This was like, I've tested positive now 4 times. The first time I had it was like when it first came out, bad. This was the next worst one that I've had, and I was supposed to go get.
This new strand is rough, apparently.
I was supposed to go get the next shot next week, and I don't now. Obviously, I don't have to. But yeah, the first couple of days, brutal. Like no control over body temperature. Would go from sweating 10 pounds of water out to being shaking so hard from being so cold, like you just couldn't hold yourself together. It was bad. So take care of yourself, folks. JT Wood, safety, out, undisclosed. Joey Bosa has been downgraded to doubtful for the game today.
Oh no.
Yep. This is the Bosas are similar to Notre Dame players.
Chronic, I hope you're still here. I don't know. I didn't see your follow. I'm sorry. I was my Twitch apparently was just doing a spinning circle, which I didn't realize. So
Okay. Alohi Gilman safety questionable due to a heel injury. Derwin James, we had talked about a little bit earlier, hamstring, has drawn a doubtful designation. And Dean Leonard, cornerback, doubtful with a hamstring. Austin Eckler, running back, doubtful with an ankle. Obviously, Mike Williams missing. He tore his ACL, and he's now on the injured reserve. This is almost like a mirrored matchup right now, minus the fact that the Raiders don't have Jimmy G. So I think I'm taking the Chargers just based on quarterback pedigree, or what I would see as quarterback pedigree, if that makes sense.
I agree with you. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers simply because I think their offense will still have an easier time just because the quarterback's familiar with the whole system. I do think Aiden O'Connell might have a pretty decent game against a very beat-up Chargers defense. No Joey Bosa, no Derwin James, potentially no Alohi Gilman. And I believe you said JT Woods has been listed as out, which means Alohi Gilman's backup is JT Woods. So that means they'll have to go to the practice squad and elevate someone if Gilman can't play. So I
feel like this might be one of those games where they try to control the clock using Josh Jacobs for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right now, the Chargers are a 6.5-point favorite at home. 82.1% on the pick'em for the Chargers, 17.8 for the Raiders. So there is no faith in the Raider Nation. I feel like the Raiders can win this game.
By the way, this is the two coaches I could see getting fired this year. So
I would actually expect both of them. If things continue the way they are, both of them should be fired.
By the way, Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause. They're talking about it right now on NFL Network. So I didn't remember that. So the chance of him getting traded, no matter how bad they're doing, is pretty slim.
Well, he's always, it's funny. He's always been a weird one because like the franchise tags and things like that. So he knows how to maximize his value. So if he wanted to, he could be like, all right, I'll go there, but you're going to have to, make some things happen.
Remember they did trade for Cam Akers. They said Cam will not automatically take over. They will ride the hot hand. So if Madison continues to roll like he did last week, they'll roll with Madison. But Cam will see snaps.
Yeah, last week was the first time Madison actually looked like he did backing up Dalvin Cook.
Maybe he felt the pressure after they traded for Cam.
That's very possible. I mean, that would light a fire, right? You're like, oh, shit, they brought in another dude?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. New England at Dallas, 425. Is this your upset?
I'm taking this as my upset of the week. I'm taking the Pats.
I thought this might be the one. I mean, I think this Pats defense can do it. I just don't know if they can score fucking points. I think
here's my thing.
If they're going to, Ramondre Stevenson better have a monster game.
Well, here's my thing. So last week we saw Zeke have a phenomenal game. Zeke knows this team, and he's going to be playing for revenge. A fired up Zeke is a terrifying Zeke. And then you throw in Ramondre Stevenson also being a beast. And you take the Patriots defense and you look at what Bill Belichick does. Bill Belichick takes away what you're best at and makes you work. He's going to do everything he can to slow down Pollard.
Yeah, he's gonna let Dak and CD try and do what they do, right?
Well, because Dak so far this season with Mike McCarthy's system has been very conservative. Short little passes, let your receivers earn you the yards. That doesn't work against Bill Belichick because the one thing Bill Belichick does well, his players wrap up and tackle. They do not let loose, broken tackles consistently happen.
The only thing, let's get into some injuries here. For New England, cornerback Jonathan Jones, out. Cornerback Jack Jones, out. Cornerback Marcus Jones, out. Don't forget Isaiah Bolden, cornerback, also on injured reserve from earlier in the season. So they're missing 4 guys that would be at the top of the depth chart. They're going to be missing guard Cole Strange with a knee injury.
I heard he was out.
Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, questionable with a knee injury. Devon Godchow, the defensive tackle, ankle, questionable. Another cornerback, Sean Wade, questionable. So that's 5 cornerbacks listed already. Looks like Daniel Aquale, the defensive tackle, is on injured reserve with a biceps injury. And that's really it for anything new. For the Patriots, Dallas, obviously, their big injury was somebody going on the injured reserve for the rest of the year. Trayvon Diggs, who is also a cornerback. So for Dallas, I have Zach Martin, guard, questionable with an ankle injury, but expected to play. Tyler Biadasz, center, questionable. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, he's a Wisconsin guy. I just know.
Questionable with a hamstring, but expected to play. Tyron Smith, offensive tackle, out with a knee injury. Peyton Hendershot, tight end, questionable ankle injury. Obviously, we got to the Trayvon Diggs, so we just told you he's done for the rest of the year. IR with a torn ACL, I believe, right?
Yep, torn ACL.
Yeah, man, we've been covering a lot of those lately. Like I said, I was like, man, the injuries just keep coming, and it's like all big name guys. It's crazy, but God, I don't know how to pick this game. Dallas 68.6% on the pick'em, 31.2 for the Patriots. Dallas is a 6-point favorite at home. I think this game's close. I think the Patriots can cover. I'm not sure they can win.
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody. I think either this game is close and the Pats win, or this is going to be a blowout by Dallas.
Yeah, that's exactly like my mental right now. Is just
but Mike McCarthy to me isn't like a guy who after you lose you come out fired up. Like he doesn't inspire that in my eyes. Like I don't ever feel when I watch a Mike McCarthy team that passion. So I'm like, I don't know if they're going to really come back looking for a rebound after last week. Micah Parsons might, but he can't do it alone.
The one thing is Dallas's defense will look better at home. They run on that fast track. They don't play on grass. So
yeah, I am curious of how they're going to stop the run, though. James Conner ran for, 186 yards or some shit? So,
yeah, I have a feeling Ramondre Stevenson could have a breakout game here. New England wants to control the clock, obviously. And Dallas' strength is their defense, but you got to play offense for New England if you're going to keep their defense on the field. And you saw what happened when they got worn out. They slowed down.
Yeah, and they can't. So the best thing about the Dallas defense is they're good. They're full of edge rushers and they're full of pass rush. But when you can run the ball between the tackles, when you can run it right behind those guards and centers, those pass rushers have to stay more inside. They can't keep pushing to the outside.
Remember,
so you get exposed defensively.
Bill Belichick won a game where his quarterback threw 3 passes the entire game.
Yep. So against the Bills too.
He will do whatever it takes to make sure that they play the style of ball he wants to play. And McCarthy ain't out coaching him. There's just no way. McCarthy's just a conservative coach. It's what he is.
Yep.
So,
all right, who are you taking?
Everything in me says to take Dallas, but I'm taking New England here. This one's just gonna be my maybe we win one.
All right.
I love that everybody after Dallas was 2-0 was like Super Bowl or bust. And I'm like, all right, come back to earth here real quick. And then next week.
It'd be hilarious if they start 2-2 after that 2-0 and everybody was.
Oh, anointing them. America's team, baby. America's team. Listen, 1-star rating, not a logo. Rating.
Michael Irvin has been unbearable for 2 weeks, even after their loss this week to the Cardinals. So.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
This is simple.
425 Arizona at San Francisco. This is a mismatch made in heaven.
Look, Josh Dobbs, you did really good last week, but you can't do what you did against the Cowboys against the Niners defense. The Niners defense isn't going to let James Conner run for 186 yards and a half.
The Niners defense is totally different from Dallas's defense. Dallas's defense is built like Dallas teams like to be built in the Jerry Jones era, which is flash. The Niners have literally a Pro Bowler in every location and probably a Pro Bowler at the backup position too. Like it's insane what they can do on defense.
Yeah, and Ayuk's back. You're not stopping Ayuk and Debo and Christian McCaffrey and Eli Mitchell. It's not happening. And if, by the way, you stop all of them, you still have George Kittle who can get open. So,
and then you're dealing with one of the best offensive minds in the NFL.
Yeah, no, it's Cardinals might.
First off, it's a 2 touchdown line for San Francisco at home, 14 points. 87.3% on the pick'em for San Francisco, 12.6 for Arizona. I mean, this is just everybody telling you the writing is on the wall for this game. I will watch it because I am very heavily interested in seeing what San Francisco does week to week, because I think that I picked them to win the Super Bowl, and I think they have so many pieces. You could literally just see a different game plan each week, and they'll never miss a beat.
Yeah, and I just want to kind of see Brock Purdy continue to grow a little bit. He was a little inaccurate last week. I want to see the accuracy keep picking up. So
especially on the long
I always
ball.
am interested.
They could literally post 50 on every team.
Yep.
Just to go through it real quick. Injuries for Arizona: Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, questionable with a thumb injury, but expected to suit up. Kyler Murray, obviously out. Not expected to return off the PUP list next week when eligible, and still considered weeks away from playing, per Adam Schefter.
I'm hearing week 8 is realistically
that's what they were saying last year too. So I think the speed up was more like a PR spin and bullshit. Chris Barnes, linebacker, questionable with a finger injury.
Well, and you can't. I mean, I'm not saying they're doing great because they're 1-2. But they've been in every game. They were close with the Commanders. They were close with the Giants. They beat the Cowboys.
They should have beat. They honestly should have beat the Giants.
They should have beat both teams. Josh Dobbs is doing everything he can, so there's no reason to rush Kyler back.
He's sneaky athletic too.
Yeah.
Keontae Ingram, running back, questionable with a neck injury. Josh Woods, linebacker, out with an ankle injury. Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle, questionable, no designation. Jonathan Ledbetter, defensive end, out with a finger injury. And that's it for anything new. Obviously, Budda Baker's on the injured reserve. Yeah, that's really it for Arizona. Now let's move to San Francisco. I haven't heard much here. Elijah Mitchell, questionable with a knee. Isn't expected to play per Adam Schefter. Deebo Samuel, questionable. Knee and rib remains listed as questionable, but expected to play. Dre Greenlaw, linebacker, questionable with an ankle injury. Doesn't say if he's expected or not. Juwan Jennings, wide receiver, doubtful with a shin injury. And Demetrius Flanagan Foles, questionable, linebacker, no designation. Just looking at that, even if they were missing Mitchell and Samuel, they're still a 10-point favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. No. The San Jose 49ers win this game easily.
San Jose 49ers. I think this is like the lock of the week.
This is your lock?
Yeah.
Okay. I probably should have made my lock something easy, but I'm taking a gamble on Monday Night Football.
Okay.
All right. Sunday night.
The Sunday night game. Almost another lock. Kansas City
The
at
Taylor
New York
Swift
Jets.
versus the Jets. Chiefs. I'm not even.
I mean, this isn't. I'd expect Zach Wilson to get yanked like 18 minutes into this game.
I saw that the coaches finally told Zach he needs to start feeling more confident with what he sees down the field and throwing the ball. So,
yeah, I mean, he is confident. He just throws it to the other team with confidence.
I just don't even know what they're looking at. Look, they went out and got Trevor Siemian. I'm like, I guess
it makes sense because Siemian has time with Hackett, I believe,
in Denver. Yeah.
So I think that's why they did it, and they're literally in that spin PR bullshit cycle where they need to not lose the locker room because these guys are going to fucking riot if they play this guy one more week.
And they need to because they don't want to lose the locker room because the team around Zach is so good that they could win some of these games if they had just a decent game managing quarterback, not a guy who's putting up Jamarcus Russell type numbers. They can't win games with that. You need a guy who can just do enough to let the rest of the team win the game because everything that Aaron's saying on the Pat McAfee show is he's saying December.
I'd be calling the Patriots and be like, "Hey, Bailey Zappi available?" You know, like
They
fucking
would trade him
anything.
in division.
I know they wouldn't, but I'm just saying it's at least worth the call, right? You're like,
I mean, the Jets did trade them Bill Belichick. So, I mean, technically,
you owe us one. But I just, again, it's like you said, the Jets are so good at every position except for quarterback right now.
Yeah, they have the 38th worst quarterback in the NFL right now, so they need to
Like his numbers are fucking atrocious. Like they are so like we pick on Baker worse. Dude, what killed me was 4th and 10, and he throws a 2-yard check down.
Yeah, and he also sacked himself.
Yeah, exactly. You got sacked by a ghost this year. So yeah, Sam Darnold saw a ghost. You got sacked by a ghost. It's so bad for the Jets because they had such high hope this year, and I would have too. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback, that's a totally different team.
Yeah, Jets fans, literally. I mean, they sold out the stadium for every home game that they sold tickets for already. They had a waiting list for fucking season ticket holders. Like all the hype in the world, and then Aaron 4 plays in goes down, and some fans were like, "All right, Zach can." After what we saw against the Bills, he did just enough. We were like, "Oh, if he does just enough every game, they can win." And now they're like, "All right, well, we need to see some throws," and they're just not there. It's Chiefs easily tonight. This is a really bad Monday night game, Sunday night game. Like the only thing that might turn it around is for the Swifties. They might watch football again. I don't know.
Yeah, they're asking the Kelsey brothers what a field goal is. 74.2% in favor of the Chiefs, 25.6% in favor of the Jets. This is a game in East Rutherford, and Kansas City is an 8-point favorite, so call it 11 overall.
8 seems very low, in my opinion.
It does to me too. I don't know. I guess if you look at the injury report, they're not missing anybody huge like Kansas City. They're missing. I know Nick Bolton's not playing. Not that matters because obviously Zach Wilson doesn't throw the ball. Jalen Watson, cornerback, inactive with a shoulder injury. Nick Bolton out, ankle. Prince Tega Wanago, offensive tackle, quadriceps, was placed on injured reserve on the 27th.
Didn't know he actually made it to stay in the NFL. He's like their 3rd string. I did not know he stuck around.
And that's it for Kansas City, so they're pretty fucking healthy. And then you look at the Jets. And they have Tony Adams, safety, out with a hamstring. Wes Schweitzer, guard, out with a concussion, back next week. Dwayne Brown, offensive tackle, was put on injured reserve with a shoulder hip injury.
Jesus Christ.
And then, you get back. And that Dwayne Brown thing is huge for them because I think what happened when he left was they actually had to shift like 3 people to change the gap. So I just could the Jets defense hold down Kansas City? Well, they held New England to 15, right? But that's like a non-offense offense. So
yeah.
I don't even see this one being close. I'd say at least 10. Yeah. I just don't. I mean, watching the Jets quarterback play is unbearable.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's the Sunday night game, and we're in for a treat.
Yeah, sure. All right, Monday night, Seattle at New York.
Seattle.
Oh my God, I got to hear more about how they changed the field in 24 hours. I got to hear about it a second straight week.
In New York?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Denver did it because they just wanted a new one. So shut up.
Right.
They spent $400,000 because they wanted it.
What is the spread of this one, out of curiosity? Only 2 points for Seattle going to New York.
I actually have it at 1.5 now.
Jeez.
So 1.5 point favorite on the road. I don't understand why. That seems a bit low. Like people are underselling Seattle. Like what?
Yeah.
What are they?
So I'm looking at the injuries. There's no DK. There's no Lockett on the injury report. There's no Jackson Smith. They're all healthy.
Saquon's
Gino's healthy.
probably not playing.
Saquon is listed as doubtful. So yeah, I don't know. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Seahawks, and that's my lock of the week.
I'm going Seahawks here too. I don't know what people are seeing that the Giants are going to keep this at a 1.5 point game at home. Like Seattle has the fire, and now obviously Seattle can sputter, but Seattle has the firepower to put up points. Like New York does not.
I don't know. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense to me. By the way, 57.3% in favor of Seattle, 42.4% in favor of the Giants. Like I said, I have the line at 1.5 with the over under of 47. What is Seattle going to put up 37-10? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get what people are seeing in the fucking Giants. And I think it's just personnel. Like they don't have. They're like New England, especially when they don't have Saquon. They just don't have anything on offense.
All right, bold prediction.
Bold prediction. Let me look at these games here.
I'm making a bold prediction in the game that no one's going to watch, so that way if I'm wrong, no one knows.
Hold on. Are you talking Denver at Chicago or?
Yes. Yep, that one.
Okay.
I'm going to say just the Denver Broncos defense shows up this week after getting embarrassed last week. They turn it around, pick off Fields 3 times in the first half, and we see a backup replace Fields in the second half.
Did you see they elevated that guy to be his backup?
The nobody that nobody knows from some school nobody ever heard of. I can't think of who the fuck it is. But yes, I saw that, and I'm I'm saying the Bears give him Fields realistically. I mean, as a bold prediction that he gets benched today after halftime. But let's see. Let me look at their schedule real quick. So they get the Broncos, then they get the Commanders. Okay, so the Commanders pass rush will eat Fields, and that's unfortunately Thursday Night Football this coming week, so fuck us. The Vikings, the Raiders, the Chargers, so they get a couple easy defenses in a row there. But if Fields struggles, because they don't have a bye till week 13, they're not going to wait till then to switch. I mean, they could. They might like Caleb Williams enough. I don't fucking know. But Tyson Bagnet is coming for his job.
Bagnet.
I don't have a fucking clue. Martinsburg, West Virginia. I don't know what school's in Martinsburg. It ain't West Virginia University.
So he went to Blue Mountain State.
Yeah. Pretty much Shepherd.
I
don't fucking know.
Where's that?
In West Virginia somewhere. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to go with my bold prediction is Fields gets himself benched during this game.
I mean, him and Zach Wilson are nearly on par. It's laughable how.
Yeah, we could see another bench. We could see Zach Wilson get benched.
It feels that everybody's saying he's got all this athletic ability. Well, he's not even showing us that now. So he's a terrible passer, and he doesn't even have the legs anymore. See ya. Lock it down. Bears worst team in the NFL again. And yeah, they have nothing going for him.
Did you see the guy who's obsessed with Tua and doesn't like Herbert said that if Caleb Williams stays in college, he'll cost himself $75 million?
Is this Emmanuel Ajo?
Yeah.
This guy's an idiot. And yes, he gets paid a lot more than I do, but this guy just makes horrible, horrible takes. I mean, that's how you get to prominent positions in sports on TV is just hot takes. But his are fucking miserable.
Yeah, he said that if Caleb stays, he'll lose $75 million next year. And I was like, he gets NIT value. He gets a fuck ton of NIL, value. he's getting a fuck ton of sponsors right now. He's
Well,
been
here's
in like
the thing.
3 commercials.
Here's the thing. Caleb Williams can make 10, 12 million a year in college now because of NIL.
Yep.
That's more than he's going to make going to a fucking trash team where he might get hurt because he's playing against a fucking terrible line. You know?
Yeah, and he's moving to the big fucking 10. So he's going to get even more fucking deals.
Okay. And if he wins the Heisman again this year, he's like 3 feet.
Right? I mean, obviously, he said it depends on who has the number 1 pick. And there are some contenders where I'm like, okay, so say it's Minnesota. Kirk's on a 1-year deal. They let Kirk leave and say they take fucking Caleb Williams, Caleb and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I would go. If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to the NFL. But it's not going to be the Vikings because they're not that bad.
And you got Hawkinson. Like, their offense is fine. It's the defense that sucks.
Yeah. But unfortunately for Vikings fans, you're not that bad. You're not getting Caleb Williams. It's realistically the Bears. It's the Bears to lose. I don't fucking know. I look at the rest of the teams and I'm like, the Cardinals are feisty right now. They can win a couple games.
Yeah, Arizona looks way better than the Bears do.
Yeah, the Broncos, honestly, if their defense comes back to the way we know their defense can play, they're going to win some games. So I'm like, realistically, the Bears are the ugliest team in the NFL. There's no one close to as bad as the Bears. So
no.
If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm going, do I want to be behind an organization that has never taken care of their quarterback? I don't know.
Right. I think you can force your hand. I mean, you can. We've seen it before.
What year is Shedeur Sanders in?
Shedeur could come out this year, but they think he's going to stay one more. Because if he stays one more and they're better next year, it almost like cements him as a top 10 pick. I mean, I already think he is. By the way, we did get a favorite NFL current player from Element Boss 13.
Favorite current. We've done a good bit of these, so I'm going to try and give you someone different. Hold on. Let me look at some of these rosters.
Favorite current? I mean, to be honest, this one's pretty easy. Just seeing what the guy does is Bijan Robinson. I mean,
yeah, for me, I'm not going to lie to you. It's fucking Zay Flowers. I can't get enough of him.
That dude, he's got it too. Like
every single week, I'm like, come on, Baltimore, just give him the ball all the time. Like, make him your Bijan Robinson. Like, that's all I want to see.
That one-handed catch Bijan made today. And then
that's what I texted you. He's not
human. He literally makes the defender miss by like a good 3 or 4 feet with one cut. I'm like, that's
not even a regular defender. Fose Lakuan, the guy who led the tackles.
Yeah, one of the best defenders. So, yeah, he just.
I like how they both chose rookies.
Well, he's electric. Like they're both electric. Like I think if you're looking for something new, and we do this often, so you're asking us favorite player right now. Just somebody I like to watch week in, week out is Bijan Robinson because there ain't much else going for Atlanta. Let's be real here.
Yeah, and for me, it's definitely Zay. Like I said, every time I watch a Ravens game, he's who I want to see. When that game is on, when the Ravens are on Red Zone or the Ravens are on my TV, I want to see number 4 catching that fucking ball. I don't want to see anyone else. I'm so tired of Ravens fans going, we need Odell back. No, you don't. You have Mark Andrews and you got Zay Flowers.
You've got plenty of weapons on that team. You got to start winning ball games. Like, come on.
Oh, that was so weird. They just cut to a Saints highlight, and it was the Saints versus the Browns with snow on the ground from last year. And I was like, where's their snow? And I was like, wait, that's a replay or something.
Makes sense. But I think that's it for everything we got on games, unless you got any other things you want to talk about.
No, tomorrow night when we go live, before we go into football, we're going to make some picks for the baseball playoffs because they start Tuesday.
Yeah.
The O's are the first team in baseball history to go from a 100-loss season to a 100-win season in a 3-year span. And I got to say this.
No, I'm just kidding.
I got to say this. Congrats to Brandon Hyde. He's one of the few managers in professional sports we've ever seen get to stay with the team through the process and not get fired while they're going through some growing pains. So really happy for him. And we're going to talk some college football. Me and Dot watch a lot of it. I have rankings that I put together last night, and I want to discuss some of them. And I kind of want to discuss some quarterbacks that are coming out of nowhere.
Oh, there are a lot of quarterbacks that could come out this year. So anybody looking for one can get one.
And I got to tell you, it might be my Maryland bias, but that Tagovailoa fucker, 13 picks, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks, and he's running 3. He's starting to look pretty damn good.
Do you think he takes jiu-jitsu?
And he's a righty. So, he doesn't have that stupid left-handed throwing, which I know NFL teams hate. So,
I don't understand that, but I get it. It's like it goes against the grain, so we can't have that.
Well, yeah, and you know they draft your left tackle to protect your backside. So if you get a quarterback that's not the backside, you're like, oh, no, it's our right tackle, and I'm like, okay, they should both still be protecting. I don't.
Yeah, either way, you're getting smoked if those guys get beat. All right, like
Yeah,
if Myles Garrett gets by those guys, you're dead.
yeah.
Oh, so
But
that's
so
my bold prediction for today is Myles Garrett has 3 sacks.
3 sacks of Lamar. I'll take. All right, that's a good bold prediction. That's interesting because Lamar's one of those guys that can avoid him, so it makes it bold. I like it. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. All right, let me see if there's anyone worth rating today. I'm in a giving, loving mood.
Damn it.
Actually, my animals annoyed me all morning. Show's live.
I have literally like nobody. Real Oaks is playing Fortnite, and I don't like to bring people to Fortnite.
We have Cho. If you want to go to Cho.
Yeah, he's Cho playing Minecraft. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll go visit Cho. If you guys want to hang out with a cool dude who's playing some Minecraft, you hang out with Cho.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a raid real quick. But we appreciate the favorite player because we love talking about players. Julia, if you ever feel like joining us, you're welcome to join us on the show. I know you're a Steelers fan.
Oh, Steelers diehard.
You're welcome to join us anytime and talk football. I have to make sure I spell this right. Sorry, guys. It's the end of this is, it's not very English. My brain doesn't understand
it's like Chovradainth or something like that, right? Dainth. Like Daynth.
Yeah, my brain doesn't understand those spelling.
So,
but all right.
Just before we move on, next week will be the week I won't be here Sunday, but I should be back Monday.
Yeah, if you're not back Monday, we can move Monday to Tuesday. Monday, but if you're around, obviously.
No, Monday's just a travel day home, and it's only about 2 hours away. So, but Sunday,
all right.
Sunday, I might be. I don't know like what the service will be like, and again, it's like a EDM festival, so I'm expecting us to not really sleep much.
I will say Sunday I will still be here live for everybody because I will at least give you me and Dot's picks. It might not be at 11:30, it might be at noon, and just cover the half hour.
Yeah, we may like if I can do it from my phone or a laptop, and I have somewhere to do it from, I'll do it. You might hear some womp womp noises in the background, but.
All right, y'all. It's about the auto raid, but we'll be talking back tomorrow night at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. Have a good night every day, everybody. Enjoy football.
Enjoy football. Love you.
Oh, my allergies suck.
Don't go anywhere. Just stay here 1 second.
Okay. 1. Bye.